my mum has always been into hospitality. She's always loved catering and looking after people and just doing stuff for people. And it was only when I told my dad about this side hustle, so to speak, that he was like, oh, just like your mum. And so I was like, oh yeah, I never thought about it. So I always thought in my head, I just like putting things together. I just liked being there for people, like taking the pressure off people. And yeah, so that's kind of how I fell into it. I just liked the idea of being there for people and helping people. And it came about when there's anything happening in my local church, I would just literally take the head and take the lead and just keep going and just putting things together and just like, do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need, or let me just go get it. Like I was always organized trying to get stuff for people. And then one of my friends in church was getting married and she made me a wedding coordinator. And I was like, what's that about? Wedding coordinator? I need to come and dance and have fun at your wedding. Why are you making me the wedding? She's like, you have a gift in you. And I was like, excuse me, you just want me to do stuff? And then anyway, on that day, I was literally planning, welcoming guests, helping the caterers, directing the caterers on what to do, and just making sure everything was amazing for her day. Because I remember my wedding and I knew what the pressure was like, especially in an African wedding. So I wanted to take the pressure off and not have her worry or keep looking around to making sure things were okay. So I wanted to be her eyes and her ears, and I wanted to dot all the I's and cross all the T's for her. So I was like project managing everyone, from the caterers to the vendors to the guests, and just making sure everyone was having an amazing time. And even at the end, I actually made sure there was food for her to take home and all that stuff. So it was only then I was like, gosh, I'm good at this. And I did the same for a bridal shower as well. So because there are not a lot of young people in my church, and for the bridal shower I was the host for the day, and I just made sure the food was there. I did like a mini setup, and it was only then I realized that I actually like doing stuff. So I started buying things in bits and drabs and just getting things and making everything look pretty. And yeah, and then I went with the flow. Literally, I just literally went with the flow. And following that, another lady in my church said the same thing to me. She said, could I organize her son's first birthday? Because actually, before my friend's wedding, I had done like a little setup for Elisha's birthday, for his first birthday. I was just coming back from maternity leave. I didn't have any money. Then I just wanted to have like a nice sweet/cake table to make it look pretty. And she really liked it. And in my head, I was like, I'm just trying to make something look pretty because I can't afford to give him a big birthday. And a lady reached out to me and said, oh, can you do something similar for my son? And another lady reached out. She's like, oh, I quite like that. And that's how it started. And then my friend told me to be a wedding coordinator and stuff. And that was when I realized I had a passion for just hospitality and making things look pretty. And at that point, I didn't know it was events. I just knew I just liked making things pretty. And I kept saying hospitality because I felt like I wanted to take the burden off people. And that was it. And
amazing. No, Aggie, amazing.
Yeah.
I love that story. Just
and that's how we started, and it fed into other things. And Christmas last year, there was another girl in my church as well who was into similar things, and she was like, oh, can we do this together? And we made a Christmas tree out of balloons for the church, and it looked so amazing. Everyone was taking pictures by the balloon Christmas tree. And so after that, we just decided, let's invest in ourselves. Let's take some courses online. Let's speak to other people that are within the industry and just find out how they went about it. Some people didn't really want to share their knowledge. Some people did. And there were a lot of people, especially international event planners, who had been in the industry for over 10 years. They were offering courses online. And some people had YouTube channel. So I was literally staying up late, watching YouTube channels and how to create something with balloons, or just make this place look pretty using balloons and stuff like that. So yeah, and that's how I got into it. And yeah, I was just investing in myself, spent some money to learn about balloon courses, how to design and set a table. And because I just felt like, you know, I kept saying hospitality and making things look pretty. I knew I could do it, but there was a lot more to it than just putting the plates and the spoons together, or just putting like some cardboards together. It was a lot more than that. And I just invested a bit in myself. I just wanted to take the chance. And luckily I have a very, very supportive husband, and he would just be like, oh, why don't you buy this? So he was like, oh, let's just look into China and see if they've got some stuff I could buy rather than having to hire out. And that was it, really. I literally just invested in myself.
So
literally.
So no, that's really super interesting. You gave us so much insight there. Your journey has taken you from just helping someone else out all the way through to developing something that becomes a passion, driven from pure passion, love doing it, and then creating something that creates revenue for yourself, whilst knowing that you need to invest to enable yourself to really accomplish what you want to do. And that's lovely. And that in itself is an amazing story. What I'd love to know a bit about is, and you've touched upon it a little bit more about your challenges. So what things have, like, you've walked away and it's thrown out there and you've not known who to turn to, but you've overcome it, whether you've overcome it or you're still working through them. Just a little bit more around that.
I'd say right now my biggest challenge has been not having that support and not being able to do more. It's a combination of things, actually, and also having to juggle full-time work, 2 kids, being a wife, and being me and being a woman, you know, looking after myself and just taking that downtime. So it's a combination of that, and also wanting to be better at what I do. So I think with me, I've never ever compared myself with anyone. I try not to, most part, but a lot of the times I see other vendors out there doing great stuff, and then I reach out to some of them. So a few of them would reach back and say, oh, you're doing amazing, well done, just keep pushing, no worries. And some of them would just not respond. I was seeing stuff happening, and I was like, how do I get into the market? How do I break that market? I mean, I knew I had my church family, but I was like, that's just not enough. And sometimes some people don't want to spend because they just say to you, oh, it's just balloons, or oh no, I can't spend that much on balloons, or I can't spend that much on a decoration. I know I've got to do the catering, I've got to pay for the hall and whatever. But especially in an African culture where they spend so much money on food and on catering and stuff, and the halls and stuff, but they didn't think the decor meant was going to be that expensive, especially using balloons. So it was a struggle initially, and it was just trying to find clients, trying to find people who believed in me and believed in what I did. So a lot of the times I was literally underselling, and I was literally giving things away for free. So one of the ways around that for me was I would just talk to people at work. I was talking to some of my friends in pricing and underwriting, some of my colleagues within the marketing department. I was just basically just spreading words. I was telling them about me. And then anything I did, a lot of the times I did it for free, or I did it for next to nothing, just because I wanted to have some content. I just wanted to let people see what I could do. And it took a long time. I must say to you, it's only now that things are starting to change, because I've invested in myself a lot more, and I've invested in a lot of props, but it took a really long time for people to just change that mindset that they could spend a lot of money on balloons. And it's really, it's funny because people are like, it's balloons, I could get it from a pound shop. Okay. But no, I try to get them to understand that the balloons I use can last weeks, even if not 2 months or more, if it's not in direct sunlight. The balloons I use are quality balloons. They're not Amazon or eBay balloons. No disrespect to those ones, but there's quality. No, but it's the truth. There's quality, you know, and there's just ordinary balloons, you know. And what I've done is I've invested in myself to create this amazing look. You know, I've had sleepless nights. I've spent months and months of research, just doing stuff and speaking to people. I've been turned down. People have ignored me, but I've kept going just to try and better myself. But people don't see that. But you know, but sometimes it's not about, the race is not to the swift, you know. So I just kept saying to myself, you know, I just keep going, and I would just give things out for free, do things like my friend's bridal shower, for example. I didn't charge her a dime for it. The lady who asked me to do her son's decor as well, I literally didn't charge her. I charged her next to nothing. And she kept saying to me, oh, that's expensive. She didn't even give me the full amount because she was like, oh, that's too much. Because people just didn't want to spend money on stuff like that. And at that point, it was just literally like £50 here, £70 here, £50 here, £70 here, £100 there. And in the real world, people were charging hundreds of pounds. But you know what, for me, I just kept going. I wanted to put out content, and luckily I had Yemi, who was really supportive, and he was like, don't worry about now, just try and just keep going. You just need to have content on your Instagram page. You just need to have content, and one day someone out there will see you and believe in you, and just, or take that chance on you and just get you to where you need to be.
It sounds like you found your voice, like well and truly, and people are taking notice because things are shifted for you, most definitely. What would be that one bit of advice if you were to give your previous self?
Don't give up. Don't give up. It don't matter what people say about you. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter how what the other competitors are doing. Don't give up. As long as you believe in yourself, put in that time, just keep going. One day we will break forth. That's what I would say. I mean, I never ever would have thought I would do this with you guys. I mean, you saw something special in me, I hope, for you to invite me to your platform. And that actually gave me even more courage and made me believe in myself more, because, I mean, I would never, I thought I was doing something great. I just thought, okay, maybe one day. And as soon as Candice reached out to me, I was like, wow, gosh, I must be doing something great. Literally. No, honestly. And my sister-in-law saw one of my setup, one of my last few setup, and she goes, your balloon game, she's Jamaican, she goes, your balloon game's strong now. And I was like, thank you. She's like, yeah, how did you, I was like, I just kept going, kept watching videos, kept educating myself, kept investing in myself, and so never give up. Honestly, it sounds so cliche, so cliche, but never ever give up, and don't compare yourself to others. There's a saying, my chapter 1 might be someone else's chapter 10. Yeah, you know. So no,
that's the thing. Like, we're Agnes. Yeah, we're guilty of it as well. Like, it's so easy to look at what the competition are up to, see how cluttered the market is, and think, what have I got that, you know, isn't already out there? But I love that piece of advice, because it's don't give up. You know, you've got 2 young kids, you've got a full-time job, and you've had such amazing feedback from the people that you've worked with. It's just a shame they're not paying you more money for it, but you clearly have a talent, and you know, it's great that you can find something within you to keep going and to keep moving forward. So I love that. I think that's amazing.
And your passion,
honestly, I think that's just what
so
it is.
Obvious.
Yeah, that's true. The passion is literally oozing out of you right now.
I feel you. You're hugging me right now, Agnes.
No, honestly, but that's just what it is. It's so, as cliche as it sounds, that's just what it is. Like, a lot of my friends in the industry, they all focus on birthdays, bridal showers, but I'm focused right now on photo shoots. So I set up for photo shoots. So people, at the moment, no one's having a birthday. No one's having any parties as such. So, but a lot of the people I'm talking to, they just want to have a photo shoot for their birthdays. And they go, oh, can you do like a setup for me? So now I've got a few booked. Fingers crossed we don't go into a full lockdown. I've still got that booked. You know, so I'm doing it. So I've kind of found my niche. I found my own path. So